Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. The time is always right to do what is right. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. Nonviolence is a powerful and just weapon, which cuts without wounding and ennobles the man who wields it. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. No one really knows why they are alive until they know what they die for. The function of soul is to make a man see what his eyes cannot see. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. There comes a time when silence is betrayal. We are not makers of history. We are made by history. The hope of a secure and livable world lies with disciplined nonconformists who are dedicated to justice, peace, and brotherhood. A man who won't die for something is not fit to live. The ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and cruelty by the bad people, but the silence over them by the good people. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Hate is too great a burden to bear. I have decided to love. Forgiveness is not an occasional act, it is a permanent attitude. We must build dikes of courage to hold back the flood of fear. The quality, not the longevity, of one's life is what is important. A genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus. Nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. Every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. We must use time creatively, in the knowledge that the time is always ripe to do right. The hottest place in hell is reserved for those who remain neutral in times of great moral conflict. True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice. An individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. The moral arc of the universe bends at the elbow of justice. We must develop and maintain the capacity to forgive. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. A nation that continues year after year to spend more money on military defense than on programs of social uplift is approaching spiritual doom. The question is not whether we will be extremists, but what kind of extremists we will be. Will we be extremists for hate or for love? Human progress is neither automatic nor inevitable. Every step toward the goal of justice requires sacrifice, suffering, and struggle. We may have all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. Let no man pull you so low as to hate him. The past is prophetic in that it asserts loudly that wars are poor chisels for carving out peaceful tomorrows. Cowardice asks the question, is it safe? Expediency asks the question, is it politic? Vanity asks the question, is it popular? But conscience asks the question, is it right? We must come to see that the end we seek is a society at peace with itself, a society that can live with its conscience. The soft-minded man always fears change. He feels security in the status quo, and he has an almost morbid fear of the new. I am not interested in power for power's sake, but I'm interested in power that is moral, that is right, and that is good. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Whatever affects one directly, affects all indirectly. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality.